A live look now at the Supreme Court. Well, in a matter of hours, the justices at the U.S. Supreme Court will hear history-making arguments on same-sex marriage in our country.
Our own Brian Sterling, there live. He'll be inside the courtroom for those hearings. So, Brian, joining us now. You've been there for almost 24 hours. What's the mood like? What are you seeing out there?
Well, good morning, Brett and Emily. Yeah, the sun's starting to come up here in Washington, D.C. There is already a pretty significant crowd out here in front of the Supreme Court. Not only are the media lined up all the way down the street doing exactly what I'm doing with you guys, but there are a lot of people that have been camped out since late last week, hoping to get a seat for today's historic hearing. That hearing gets underway at 10 o'clock in the morning. It'll last for 2.5 hours. They're going to hear oral arguments on 4 consolidated cases, of course, one of which is the Michigan case. Those 2 Hazel Park nurses who are fighting for the right to be able to adopt the other's child. They want equal protection under the law. They say right now they don't have it. But the state of Michigan is fighting this. They say that the voters have decided what same-sex marriage shouldn't be allowed in the state. They have voted on that. Millions of people voted, and they want that vote to count. That will be their argument today as they make their case in front of the high court. The lawyer, John Bursch, happens to be from Warner Norcross and Judd, the former Michigan Solicitor General. He will be the one fighting for the state's rights today. So, yeah, a little air of anticipation, obviously, and for the supporters of same-sex marriage, there's an air of inevitability here that finally, not only public opinion is the tide turning there, but with the high court, they may see a decision go their way.
Brian, it's such a huge decision that's going to go down inside that building right behind you there, and there have been so many huge decisions that have impacted people's lives over the decades, over hundreds of years of the course of this country here. What's it like to walk through those doors? What's it like to stand in front of the Supreme Court right now?
Well, obviously, I mean, it's, this is an imposing building. It's looming. It's, you feel the air of the imprimatur of justice here, if for lack of a better description. But when we go in later today, that will be an experience in and of itself. There are only a few media that are going to be allowed to go in to actually hear the oral arguments today. Channel 8 is privileged enough to be one of those stations, so I will take my seat in the court along with the other reporters and about 400 other spectators, friends of the lawyers on both sides of these arguments, other people that have a stake in this case, celebrity lawyers like Gloria Allred. They're planning to come here too as well. So there's a lot of interest in the legal community. There's a lot of interest in society as well as these culture wars wage on. So they're hoping, based on what they hear the justices say, and more importantly what the justices write when they come out with their opinion in June, where this case and what the state of same-sex marriage will be in the United States.
Brian Sterling reporting live in Washington for us here, just starting out this morning for us. He's there for the long haul. Brian, thank you so much.
We're going to bring Brian back here at 6:30.
We'll see you in about a half an hour.
Yeah, thank you guys. We're going to get some legal perspective.